Welcome everybody to another episode of Rejuvenate with Yemoja. We always have some dope topics with some dope people. So please, we are excited for today. So we gonna get started. If my panel wants to request the box, that would be great. I think I saw Rawstarfairy up in here. Got my other two panelists about to join us.
Hi everybody, Grand Rising.
If Madame, if you do get to join us, please request the box. We're gonna get started, y'all. Thank you guys so much. New label, thank you so much for last minute popping. Great. So if you guys would like to do your intros, you can. I think Madame is trying to join us now. Yeah. Okay. Whoever would like to start first, you can. If you'd like to do your intro.
I'll let New Label go first. That way we can go in order. I'm a little OCD.
I'm New Label. I've been on tag for 4 months now. Going on 5th month. I really don't have any content as of yet, but I'm working on it.
You bet. I've been on here. Let's see. We are coming up. It's about to be October. It's coming up on a year total, but I've taken a lot of breaks between family stuff, holidays and stuff like that. So I'd probably say about 7-8 months really as far as actively being on here. I am going for my top badge, so right now I'm pretty much streaming every day. Normally my streaming schedule is going to be Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Yemoja, thank you for having me on the show. I'm super excited for whenever it does become featured because it's something that is featured quality content. So I'm appreciative for that. Like I said, I was on before to bring my people over. I'll be on again after, so that way any new people I meet, we can come over and vibe.
Yes, thank you for doing that. And Miss Madame?
Madamgoddess. You can find me every day, Monday through Friday, in my live early mornings for a work stream. Saturday nights at 8 p.m. for my show Tagging Out, which is the hood version of Wildin' Out. Be very afraid. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that show. But that's it. That's all I have.
Wow.
Now, just because you said that, I may have to check that out, y'all. So, thank you so much, guys, for coming. Today we are talking about our heart chakra, so understanding that. But before we get into that, I always have an icebreaker question. And my icebreaker question for today is, the fall season is upon us. What do you enjoy most about it?
The food.
Please elaborate on that, because I would like to know what specific foods you like during the fall.
I like comfort food, hearty food like soups, because of the weather as well, because it's cold. I like hot chocolate, marshmallow.
Oh yeah, see, that sounds nice and cozy. Hence we're having a food for the soul, right? Preview, right?
Nobody cares about gaining weight that season.
You know what? No, it's cuddling season, and then so you need the comfort food, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. Love it. How about you, Rasta?
I agree with her on the food, but I literally was telling my live before I came in here, these shorts I put on, I thought they were too big, and now I'm over here just getting thick already. The fall is already hitting me with that, and I'm like, Lord, even though it's not get fine season, I'm over here still trying to work out like it's summer. So I'm in between on that, but I do love the Starbucks drinks, all those summer and all those autumn fall drinks. I like that. But as far as fall, I like the coolness because I live in Texas and it'd be hot. It'd be hot as who knows what. So getting to cool down, getting to wear the cute outfits. I do love showing my cheeks, as they say, out there during summer. But during fall, I like the sweaters,
Nice.
Well, I was definitely gonna say I like the food, and I definitely like to dress for the fall, the scarves, the boots. That's my style. I love it.
Okay. Now, me personally, I love the change of leaves. That is my favorite. Okay, the weather is just right, y'all. And then yes, I'd love to just look at the leaves. Sit under there, just look at them, and zone out, meditate, whatever. So that's probably my favorite aspect about fall. So yes, the heart chakra. So let's talk about it. So the heart chakra, it's located in the center of our chest. So it's the 4th chakra, because I actually started from the top and I'm working my way down. It's not located where our actual heart organ lies, but in the center of our chest area. Okay. The color for the heart chakra is green, and that represents transformation and love energy. So the original name in Sanskrit, and Sanskrit is a South Asian language, is called Anahata chakra. And that means unhurt, unstruck, and unbeaten. So we could say heart chakra, or we can say our Anahata chakra. The element for this particular chakra is air, and air disperses and integrates spiritual understanding of love, compassion, and connection to everything that you encounter. So air, like love, is in with all of us, around us, and we can embody this element by keeping our heart center open and our love free flowing. Now, some associated body parts, physical body parts associated with the heart chakra are our heart, lungs, arms, hands, and our thymus gland. Some emotional bodies are love, compassion, empathy, self-love, and kindness. And mentally, it's giving, sharing without anything in return, accepting things that are living and in balance. So when we have a balanced heart chakra, a person may feel more confident, connected to the world, and surrounded by love, compassion, and joy. But when it's imbalanced, a person may experience physical signs like poor circulation, high or low blood pressure, stiffness in the shoulders, chest, and upper back. They may also feel unworthy or unable to trust in themselves or others. Also, if you're mentally imbalanced, you can result in problematic issues such as codependency, manipulative behaviors, feeling of unworthiness, and an inability to trust yourself or others. Some other signs that your heart chakra may be blocked are you tend to be isolated, you feel lonely, you hold grudges against people you may love, frequency of jealousy, overly defensive, you fear intimacy, and you put yourself in the role of being the rescuer or the victim. Some ways that we can actually open our heart chakra, and this is actually personal to me. One of the ways that I open it is my rose quartz. I don't know if you see, I wear my rose quartz a lot. And this chakra is actually personal to me because I get Reiki sessions regularly. And during one of my Reiki sessions, if you don't know about Reiki, it's basically energy transference that clears, negativity out of your system. And after the session, one of the sessions, the lady told me that my heart chakra was blocked. So I had to get that open. And when she said that to me, it really explained a lot with, some of my current relationships and my interactions. And I would say the way that I would respond to certain things. So, since that opened and since, I started wearing my rose quartz, I found things have really smoothed out. And, I'm more loving now. I'm more embracing now. So, this really was something personal to me when I was researching this. So my first question to you guys is, why do you feel having an open and balanced heart chakra is important to yourself?
I think when your heart is balanced, it's less stressful. We go through day by day with like work stress. So having that balance, I think you by the time you get home and decompress, having to have that balance in your life, I think is an amazing feeling, because if your chakra is clouded or clogged or closed, I think that puts you more into a deeper, now I'm not gonna say a depression, but your methodical and analytical state of thinking would be clouded as well. You won't be able to focus or concentrate when you're doing some analysis, like root cause analysis, or just your day-to-day balance. Well, that's at least for me.
Yeah, for sure. Like when you were going through that list of, number one, I'm gonna need some rose quartz ASAP. I don't know if I can do that today, but we're gonna do that this week, okay? Because you see me with my bronzite for all the online haters, they be real. But when you were talking about all, like whenever it's blocked, as far as your heart chakra, I was like, ooh, like why you gotta expose me like this? I know in Naja's show, she was talking about the app that she told us all to download so we could learn about, our chakras, which one is specific to us. And I learned that my sacral chakra, as I had known a little bit before, is my personal center. But loving unconditionally, like you said, or having that I need to be saving somebody and not have that victim, or I'm just the saver mentality. It's hard as a mom. It's really, really hard as a mom because you're so busy taking care of everybody else to find those moments to take care of yourself. Like where? And especially, which I'm sure we'll talk about later because it's part of our homework, if you grew up with relationships to where you didn't really get to have that opportunity to have that unconditional love shown to you, it's hard to know how to show that to other people without just being so either I'm saving you, you're saving me. There is no gray line in between. It's just like I'm on a mission. So yeah, that really hit home. It really hit home.
Yeah, and just really quickly to piggyback off you're saying as a mother. So when my heart chakra opened up, and girl, yes, please go get this rose quartz. It will save your life, child. Okay. I noticed my reactions to my children were much in a more calming state. You understand? I'll be honest with you. I would snap at my kids before. I would just get very impatient and irritable with certain things. And I noticed that, like I said, I have much more patience and I feel more at ease and calmness.
Honestly, I feel like all of our chakras should be balanced and open. I also feel like with the heart chakra being one of the most powerful chakras, where it challenges our emotions and the way we see the world and stuff like that, it just basically gives us a clear view on the world and stuff. So just for instance, if you had a really terrible relationship, really toxic, that can cause your heart chakra to close. Therefore, once you try to do this again and again, you're gonna repeat a cycle. So that's my part.
That's important, right? Not have the cycle repeat and repeat, right? From past trauma. I agree. So a follow-up question to that is, what does it mean to you to have an open heart? And how can you practice open-heartedness in your daily life?
For me, I think it's more like one of the most function of it is I think foremost is loving yourself, right? Being compassion, transforming yourself into building a foundation, and let me think. Like a foundation to build, and just like work-life balance. You balance everything out. So just like with the heart, I think, once you build a foundation between being, there's a word I'm looking for. I'm lost of words right now. I think balancing everything would ease. I think you would be at peace.
That's powerful.
Yeah, I agree.
Hi, Florida. I think that a really important thing for, especially us as melanated people, is therapy. It's something that our generations before didn't really, still sometimes don't take too seriously. So I know personally for me, I can't remember whose show that we were on. Oh no, I take it. It's okay to not be okay. I was just talking about that on Wyatt Matters show. Yeah, we were on that show, or I was in supporting for that show, and they talked about how the cost for therapy, for mental health and stuff like that, and insurance, whenever it comes into relation to that, sometimes that can be a barrier, but sometimes it's okay, you gotta prioritize, is that more important or something else more important? Because you need to be able to have those open conversations with somebody who's objective about okay, this is my life, you're not involved in my life whatsoever. What can you see and tell me from a perspective from an outside view as far as my relationship? So I think that's really important. And then also too, having real people in your life who, how do I say, they know how to have the difficult conversations with you, and actually have difficult conversations with you. Hey, this might make you upset, but we're going to talk about it. And we're going to talk about it to each other. We're not going to talk about it to other people. We're not going to do gossip, this or that. We're going to talk about it and we're going to hash it out. And yeah, we might be mad whenever we go to sleep. But whenever we wake up the next day, we can either leave off where we were at and continue the conversation. But I think that people aren't used to having uncomfortable conversations. And that's kind of They just want it to be light, political, fluttery, and it's like that's not how real relationships work. Especially us being on this app, a lot of things are very political. So it's like being able to have those raw conversations and still be friends after and be like, hey, you might have upset me, but this is how you felt about things. This is how I felt about things. Let's find a middle ground. So yeah.
I agree, and that's being a real friend too, right? Having those conversations. So definitely.
Just to kind of like piggyback off of what Rawstar said, it's more so of our, I don't want to use this word, but our ignorance to therapy and insurance. It's ways that you can get therapy for free. You know, we don't talk about it as much. It's free apps, you know, it's, you can get it through Medicaid, you can get it through a lot of different things that people don't know about. And I really think that if we talked about it more, then we would be better as people, honestly.
Agree 110%. And I also feel that, like I explained Reiki that I do and other self-care activities, you know, a lot of times, depending through your job, you can use your flex spending account for these types of things, or even insurance. Depending on your insurance, they may allow a certain amount of, you know, sessions or maybe some percentage off. So I definitely think it's worth looking into, you know, for these things. That's very, very important. So my next question is, do you naturally trust others? Are you ever too trusting, or do you hold back trust from others? And what does a healthy balance with that look like to you?
So for me personally, I feel like I trust too easily. I'm a bit over trusting. I feel like I don't know what a healthy balance is, you know? It's either I give all or I give nothing, you know? And there's no in between with me. I'm not an in between person. It's either all or nothing. So that's it.
Guilty until proven innocent. See, and like I find I'm a lot of the same way as Double is explaining, and I'm realizing, especially now, I'm 30. Okay, we are grown, and the older you get, the more wisdom that comes, the more you just start to look back at your life, and you're like, ooh, like she said, as far as I know, my heart chakra is, you know, obviously partially blocked somewhere, and that's where the trust issues come in from. 30 where? Thank y'all. We, you know, I'm 18 until we tell it where. That's what we gonna tell it. Let's go tell them. You know, that's what they say I look like. But I'm realizing more, especially when people pass, when they pass away, you realize that people are gone forever, and so sometimes I find myself looking back at relationships like, dang, I was putting these things on you mentally, partially, like from childhood trauma, and it's like, I shouldn't have been that way. So I know that's definitely one of my flaws. I'm very untrusting to people. And that comes from, like, I grew up from parents who had the street life. So they kind of taught me that, like, street method of, like, trust no one, you know? So, thank you. So yeah, that's where mine came from. And I definitely, that's something I'm still working on, for sure.
I agree.
I think for me, like, trust is basically based on instinct, based on conversation, based on how a person's reactions or how they act upon certain situations in life. Like they said, trust is the glue to life, right? It's based on a foundation to principle. So I think that, you know, you base it on, I guess they call it, quote unquote, the gut feeling. I think that's kind of how you trust anyone or everyone.
Yeah, you know, they say discernment, right? You know, you can use discernment. I think that's where a lot of our spiritual connection comes in, and us, you know, talking to God, you know, and asking, you know, especially if we have that gut feeling, as New Label said, to confirm that, you know, with source, and really sit and be like, you know, it was good to go, not, you know. So I think that helps as well. Very, very good. So, and we did talk about peace a little bit earlier. I know, New Label, you touched on this, but how can you cultivate the feeling of peace in your everyday life? And I know we touched on a little bit of that.
To have peace, I think you build by building foundation. One is trust, another one's communication, the other one is principle. You have to have principle. In the military, we go by three things. We honor courage and commitment. We honor, what we're doing. It's the courage to do it, and commitment. You have to be committed to what you're doing. So that's a principle that we carry, part of the fact that I did 10 years in the military. So that's what we go by every day.
Yeah, for mine, I'm definitely going to say I've been trying to do a lot more meditation and working out are my two go-to. Meditation I've been doing a lot better on lately. I'm able to get it in. I'm like, hey, I know if I need it, let me do this, let me get my crystals going, bow. Working out, that can be a lot harder for a lot of us because we like, hold on, the time it takes, I'm tired after I get off work, eat tech. But it's like, after you get that workout in, like oh my God, you feel so good. Like it might be tough going through it, but you feel so good after. And especially for big fast K, people like us, in our community again, smoking, drinking, things like that, it can be a really easy escape. And I can't lie, I've been at fault for that. And my parents, it's generational things, like that can be very easy to fall into, but I'm very much so trying to find other ways to make sure I'm releasing and healing positively, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So me personally, I find peace in the simple things like playing with my dog, taking him for a walk. He's my emotional support animal. I go to therapy. I pray a lot. It be rough sometimes, like it really be rough. And I be having days where a lot is, I feel overwhelmed, and honestly, sleep is my best friend. So when I'm at sleep, that's when I'm mostly at peace. So just for me, it's more of like self-care, taking that time for myself and not putting nobody else before me, just me, that's it.
I understand. I resonate with all of that. Okay. And to piggyback off of that question, what thoughts, words, images, memories, and or sounds convey the feeling of peace to you?
Here, I'll start. First of all, Madamgoddess, like you saying sleep. I don't know if you guys have heard Bed Peace by Janae Aiko. Oh my God, that is my jam. Janae Aiko?
Yeah, I've heard of Janae Aiko. What's the song?
Yeah, it's called Bed Peace. That has been my song since I was like in college. And it's not even like that type of song, like, ooh. It's like, no, she talks about how being in my room, being in my bed, like that is my peaceful place. And a lot of people have called it, like, sometimes it's my peaceful place, but it's also like my depression den, like where, okay, if I'm just stuck, like I'm here in my room, like just, I don't want to come out. I just want to watch TV, or I just want to work on my stuff. I don't want to see anybody. So it's one or the other. Thank you, L. Hi, big L, not the little. And so for me, like music is a really, really big thing. Like hearing September, songs like that, old school, like 70s songs that I remember growing up with. My mom, they were burning incense, they was cleaning the house and stuff like that. Yes, that is my go-to. Some gumbo, because I'm from Cali. Gumbo is a really, really big thing for us. Those types of meals and stuff, it's everything for me. Also too, Southern food. Like I live in Texas now. It's a very country place, so I got a lot of country family. So those types of foods and music like remind me of that.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Nice.
I love it.
For me, it's writing. Writing for me, I think for me, when I write, I go to a different realm of training thoughts. Like when I write, it takes me to places. I've written 10 books already. One is about to be published this December, and I'm working on the other ones. That's where it takes me. It takes me to another realm of dimension of life. I think that's why I write. It takes me out of depression. It takes me out of stress. It decompresses me. I mean, I leave off of tag. I don't even touch my computer. I don't touch my phone. It's just me and Mother Nature. When I'm somewhere in the mountains, it's just paper and pen and a sheet. I lay down and I think. I close my eyes and think. It's just me and Mother Nature. That's how I'm able to write and think. And like I always tell people, I said, we go to school not to learn, we go to school to think, because you activate your brain. You're teaching your brain how to think. So for me, writing is my my way. It's my escape way here while I'm here in Earth.
I love it. Girl, you need to be on Penflow with Rainmaker. Okay. 9 o'clock tonight. You would love it over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, it's hard. It really depends on my mood. Honestly, I think silence is best because for one, I'm ADHD, so my mind goes a million miles per hour all the time, always thinking about 20 different things at one time. So when I could just quiet my mind, that's the biggest thing for me. So if I can find somewhere that's totally quiet, I'm at peace. So
Yeah, those are some really nostalgic, great answers. Yeah. So I want to ask this question. I want you to reflect on this statement. I am loved, loving, and lovable. What does that mean to you?
To me, when somebody say that, that means they trust themselves. When you love yourself, you trust yourself enough to make your own decision based on what you see, based on your what you believe, based on your expectations, I think.
So for me, it's kind of, when I hear that statement, I feel whole, full of love, full of joy. Full is not really the word I'm looking for, but it works. So just basically feeling whole, feeling full, and just centered, I guess.
Yeah, I definitely agree with both of those statements. I kind of like break it down because whenever you say that I am loved, like going back again to being a mom, it's like knowing that you're loved by your kids, your family. You can know that, but because you're doing acts of service and just going, it's not until those moments that, like Madamgoddess said, where you just slow down, or like Yemoja said, whenever your heart chakra is fully open and you're, finally seeing everything. Like, it's not until the times where I just finally have a moment to just sit and look at them, and I'm like, dang, like I love the mess out of you. You love the mess out of me. But we're always so busy going, that I think it's really hard to see that sometimes, that like I am truly loved. And when somebody's actively like, like putting in your face, like stop everything you're doing and just realize, like, come give me a hug, like, which we don't do that often enough. Like, we need to be doing that a lot more. But as far as being loving, I think I'm very loving. I love like hard, like I'm a what's the word, like a stern lover. I'm a talk my ish, but at the same time, very unconditionally. Like, I know I am that person. If I know you're having a bad day, I'm like, hey, stop everything you're doing. Come give me a hug. I'm very big on, like, I know what it feels like to be emotionally empty and to me to have that filled. So I'm very, very loving in that sense. But within, as far as feeling lovable, I think that is kind of like a two-way sword because I am that way. And we have lots of fans on here and people be like, oh, I love you, Rasta. You're so pretty. I love your energy. I love this. It's very easy to be lovable, but being lovable is not the same thing as being loved. If you're really not having those deep conversations with people on a consistent basis. So I think that's where I'm very lovable. I'm very, like, loved to a certain extent, but it's like how deep that love really goes. I think sometimes we give the people that are giving us that lovable love more love than the people that are actually truly loving us.
Wonderful. Well, on the flip side of that, do you possess any fears or limiting beliefs preventing you from accepting unconditional love? And how can you begin to release those fears and limiting beliefs?
I'm gonna say yes. And I'm in therapy for it. I'm working on it, But I feel like, honestly, therapy, a lot of self-reflection, a lot of taking accountability, all of it really plays a part in everything. And until you are healed, then I don't think you can really receive love in the correct way.
Yeah, I agree. For me, it's a lot like Madamgoddess was saying before. And I think New Label said the same thing too whenever she's writing. Like, I have to turn my phone off. Like, that's part of why y'all will see me going hard for a minute, but then I'll be like, oh, where's Rasta? Like, cause like, no, I gotta turn my phone off. Like, I can't be on here spreading my energy, I need that cup given like filled right back. Same thing for IG. Y'all know, y'all cuss me out for it all the time. It takes me a week a lot of the times to like, unless I'm on a show like right now, y'all will not get a response for about a good week, because at the same time, my text messages and stuff are going off. And then I got, again, kids, I got work, I got real life, a gazillion things going on. So for me, it's really just like shutting everything off, looking at that mental, being like, okay, why are you in this place? What do you feel like needs to be filled? Reminding yourself of who you are, because it's really easy to forget that whenever you go to a deep, dark place. But it's taking that step back and being like, whoa, restructure. I can't just feed into the social media too. It's so fake, and it'll have you thinking a lot of things that aren't even really real. And so it's like, no, like shut off the TV. That is social media. And sometimes even the real TV, and get back into yourself.
I agree with both of them. I think too is you have to be, how do I say this? What's the word for it? I think you have to disconnect yourself from society and actually connect with your inner you. And disconnect with society and connect with your inner you, because loving yourself first before you accept other people's love that would actually, it's the best feeling in the world for me.
It is so funny that you say that, because that's something that I have been through and that I am working through. A lot of times outside sources can cause those limiting beliefs in yourself, right? It can cause that self-sabotage in yourself. And I know that from experience, okay? So you're right. Not listening to those things, knowing what your higher self has for you, knowing what God is saying to you, you are on the right path. You are doing what you're supposed to do. It doesn't matter what it looks like to person X, person Y, family X, family Y, okay? And staying on that path, it's not an easy thing. And so, yes, I feel having our heart chakra open is for us as well, right? So we can, and that, we've touched on that during this whole thing, loving ourselves. Because if we don't love ourselves, if we don't have our heart open for ourselves, if we don't rejuvenate that for ourselves, then how are we going to interact with others, and how are we going to take some things from others, yes, and say, no, I know that's not really me, right? So, oh, wow, yeah, that is. So I have another question. Now we talked about love. So I want to know, what does kindness mean to you?
Oh my gosh.
I use it a lot interchangeably.
I guess I'll start, like, it means loving unconditionally. And for me, how do I say? I'm the type that I'm going to do that irregardless. I might hear something, especially again on this app, I might hear something about somebody from somebody else, but I'm the type of person, I'm like, I got to see it for myself. Like, I got to see it for myself. Like, gossip is easy to do. And so it's like, I got to see it for myself. I know you might be going through this with this particular person, but I'm going to get to know them for myself, because y'all's relationship might be completely different than our relationship. So as much as I might distrust, I'm always going to give people the opportunity until you show me a reason to not trust you. But within being that same sense, it's like, since I do give so openly and like so kind, like, how do I say? Since I'm like so loving at first, it's like, oh, Rasta energy, like blah blah blah. It's like whenever I see you, I feel like that cross happen. It's like, hold on, we in straight like ninja mode. Like, where's the ski mask? Like all the jazz. So I give kindness, but it's like, well, how do I say? I find it as a very, very easy teeter-totter seesaw to be on, which I have to remind myself that whenever it comes to really truly opening your heart chakra, regardless of what somebody's done to you, you still have to be loving, because no matter what, that you're just blocking yourself. They say, you might be able to forgive somebody, but not forgetting that just holds you back. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. If you guys are just tuning in, this is Rejuvenate with Yemoja. We are discussing our heart chakra. We're having a very, very good discussion. So, Rasta, are you saying that you get to know that person, that you are kind to them? You're given that kindness towards them before. Yeah. So it's kind of like you're being cordial. Just like if you see a stranger, I'm sure you're going to be cordial to them, right? If they were to drop something on the ground, you're going to pick it up. Right. You're being kind to them. So you're not fully opening with the love, but you're just displaying the stuff that we were taught out here, right? To be kind to your neighbor. Is
Yeah.
that like
Definitely to a certain extent, because it's like, so for example, so I work for a nonprofit. Happy birthday, Tay Tay. So working for the nonprofit, like my coworkers, very cordial, very kind, for real, right? Just as you said, I keep it cordial with my coworkers, just like people on this app. Like, unless we talk on this phone every day on my real phone, where's my other phone? On my real phone? I'm gonna keep it cordial. We're gonna keep it cordial. Everything real political. Whoop de whoop, keep, rasta. But until I know that, like, I can trust you, especially with coworkers and stuff. You never know what coworkers gonna tell your manager. I'm not gonna have you in my business, so we're gonna keep it cordial. Of like, I'm being kind to you. We're gonna, have this relationship, but I'm not too deep, not in too deep. Just like most of us know, you can't put your business out here on the app because people, you never know what they're gonna do with it, run with it. But within that same sense of me working for a nonprofit, I work. I just maybe I see you. I work with a lot of homeless people, and that is where my heart is. Like, that's where my passion is. And so for them, a lot of people will talk to these people or see them on the side of the road and never even look their way. But for me, it's about like, hey, how can I make your day? How can I remind you that you're important? And so that way you don't forget that no matter what you're going through. That part. So yeah. I have my levels of kindness. It's like, I'm kind, but then I only let it go to a certain extent until I know of like, hey, are you truly, in my corner?
So for me, kindness is treat others the way you want to be treated. If you want to be treated like crap, then I'll treat you like crap. If you treat me like crap, I treat you like crap. That's my kindness. It's also, if you're nice to me, I don't blatantly just go out and be rude to somebody or, is unkind to me. That's a sign of disrespect, and I feel like everyone should be respected until they give you a reason not to. So for me, kindness is a, hey, how you doing? How's your mental health today? Stuff like that. Like, for instance, on Tag, when I go live, sometimes I'll be like, oh, my caption will be like, how's your mental health today? Did anyone check on you? Do you need a hug? Things like that. Kindness is, if a lot more people was kind, the world would be a great place, but it's not perfect, and then when the trolls come out, I'm like, oh, did your mother not hug you? That's my kindness. Like, do you need a hug from me? So yeah, it's levels, and as long as you're kind to me, I'm kind to you. So
I think for me, kindness is, well, how I do it is I test the water. Sometimes kindness has to be earned, not given, right? Because I believe in reciprocation of kindness. If you give it or receive it, you should give it the same way. That's based on attitude, personality, mindset, because the same energy that is input or an output, it should be inputted the same way. That's based on frequency, right? And I think, like I said, kindness should be treated, how you want to be treated is what you should give them as well.
Totally agree. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for today. I have a few minutes left, and I know, Rasta, you knew what the homework assignment was. I know you guys are just filling in, but before I get to that, I have a few affirmations for the heart chakra. So, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. I live in balance with others. Love fills my heart and heals me. My heart is open to love. I nurture my inner child and release past traumas and pain. I rejoice in the joy, success, and good health of others. I am able to let go of past and forgive myself of others. I radiate with the essence of pure love. I radiate with the essence of pure. So I want to thank you guys so much. Now, I did have a homework assignment, so I'm gonna let Rasta share. Did you do your homework assignment too?
I did. Oh my God, because y'all know I love homework. I love college, and so y'all, I did homework that before I even read the homework assignment. I was like, oh snap, I just did extra homework. So I got it on top of it. So everything you told about the heart chakra.
I'll read the questions that the assignment was, and you guys can feel free to chime in as well. So the homework assignment was, what are 3 moments in your life when you felt deeply loved, and to describe them? And then what are 3 moments in your life when you felt a deep love for another being, and describe these moments. So that was the homework assignment. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Also, too, those affirmations that you sent, can you please send them in the group chat? Because I want to do some mirror work with those.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be good. But okay, so for me, people I felt the most loved by. So I'm going to start off with my grandfather. To this day, he's the only man that I've ever trusted and still do trust to this day. He was the one who first took me fishing, taught me how to fish with a rod. And so I think for us women, having that first male relationship, positive male relationship in your life, is usually supposed to be your dad, but sometimes isn't. It's something that you'll never forget. So for me, that was something. I remember those moments. We came down to Texas whenever he was passing away from cancer, and so just getting to create that relationship with him, and also go through that grieving process at a really young age, it just connected us, like, at a point that I've never felt that connection with another man. My second person is probably going to be my grandmother, because I was raised by her a lot until I was about 5 years old. Both of my parents were kind of just in and around my life. She had that old school bringing up, and again, being in Cali, so that old school, hold on, we waking up on Sundays, we cleaning, just like I said, you don't talk back, you don't talk crazy. And also too, it was like a point in time when family to where we all got together, like we all did those family dinners, you're seeing your cousins, a lot of us don't really have that connection that much anymore. And if you do, you're blessed, take advantage of it. So that was a really, really loving environment, because she made sure that her home was just like a nest, like a safe haven of like, this is the beehive central. And then my third is going to be my mom, because my mom, being a single mom growing up, whenever I was with her after my grandmother, growing up with a single mom and just seeing how hard she works for you, how hard she hustles for you, everything that she goes through, and then literally going through those trips with her, like y'all have like that best friend relationship. So like I ride for my mom rides for me. I know that she will do anything and everything in order to make sure that I succeed, and I appreciate that. Not everybody has that in their lives too, so I'm very, very grateful for that.
Awesome.
And you want me to do my other three, or do you want to let them do it?
I do.
Okay, and so the people that I love the most, I'm gonna have to say is gonna be my oldest. I have my oldest. I came back from North Carolina, pregnant, who knows what. I talked about it, I think, on Fame Show. Was not expecting it. Happened for my first and only one night stand ever. So it was not a pregnancy that I expected whatsoever. But funny enough, again, just how generation things work. Just like my relationship with my mom, me and her have very much had that bonded relationship. So I was like, I want to make sure I show you the world. I want to make sure I give you experiences and things. No matter with me being a single mom, you don't miss out on these things. So me and her, we like this. Like sometimes so much like this, I'm like, girl, you are not a teenager. Like you are not the teenage years yet. So hold it up. But me and her, that's my ride or die. She rides about her mama. That's who you've been seeing me be like, every 5 seconds when she's coming in. She's like, are we leaving yet? Like, you ready to turn up? And I'm like, girl, hold on. I know it's Sunday fun day. 1 second. And so my second is gonna be my youngest, because as some of y'all know on here, I had just recently went through a situation to where I hadn't got to see her for a month. And she's still in her somewhat infant phase, like toddler, she just turned 2. And so getting to experience, how do I say, not having your child for a little bit, because custody battles is not like you learn to have an appreciation of like every single moment I can get with you is priceless. So that little girl, she's a jewel. She has my heart. She just had her birthday last week, and I will never, ever allow anything crazy like that to happen to me. And then my third, as far as people I love, it was really hard, because as much as I don't know if I want to say, as crazy as it is, like the situation that I went through with her dad, I think it was her dad, because I actively chose to have her with him. And so I think that having a relationship to where you actively choose to have a child, whether it's a marriage, like whatever it is, you have to be really clicked up with somebody. And no matter how toxic and crazy things have gotten, like, no, obviously I love you hard to ride through the dark times with you. So those are my three.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
That's amazing.
Would you guys like to answer the question? If not,
Sure. I'll go. So my connection, like my first three, my first one is my connection and my relationship with God, because He shows me things. When I pray about it, it comes to an existence. When you think about it, it comes to a creation. My relationship with Him is just inevitable. It's amazing because whether it's good, bad, whatever it may be, the connection is there. And I'm firmly a firm believer of God. The second one is my family, of course. I have a very good connections, a relationship with my family, my mom, my dad, and my siblings. And then the third one is Mother Nature, because whether the season is rainy days, snowy, whatever the season is, God created it for us to enjoy every moment of it. And then my inner or my deeper connection is I am falling in love with myself because of who I am and who I became to be now. The knowledge that God, the second one is the knowledge that God gave me. And then the third one is the opportunity to live life here and learn and educate and teach and, spread his words. And I think that's for me.
38 said you forgot him. You forgot to mention him. She loves you too. Madam, would you like to answer the question?
Yeah, so I would have to go with, my first three would definitely be my granddad, my mom, and the third one is a hard decision. I would have to say my Uncle Ducky. He always made jokes about me being the reason his heart beat, stuff like that. My granddad, he was more of a father figure to me than my father ever was. And we lived in the same house. It was crazy. But my mom, she's my rock. Like, I cannot go through life without my mom. She's molded me into the woman that I am today. Whew, a lot of heartache and pain, but she definitely taught me the way of life. I just love the way she loves, how free she is, how kind she is. And then for the people, those are the people I say love me the most. And then the people that I love the most would be my sergeant major from high school. I did ROTC. He was also a father figure to me. I'll have to go with my granddad again, and then my mom. I'm gonna add a fourth person because I can't forget my Uncle Ducky, I can't leave him off the list, But all of those people, they have been role models for me. They've taught me the way of life, and I'm so grateful for them. So.
That's all it feels like I am. Thank you guys so much. This was wonderful. I just want to say, in conclusion, by working with your heart chakra or your Anahata chakra and bringing this energy center into balance, you can rejuvenate and expand your capacity for a loving connection and move through the world with great compassion for others. So I want to thank you all so much for coming today and talking about this. And see, even my heart chakra feels warm. If you guys would like to do your outros, that would be great. New label.
No, I don't want to go first.
I'm cracking up. I'll go first.
Okay, go.
So, ladies in the box, I definitely faved you. Madamgoddess, I've seen you before. Not in, I think it's TTG's live. But I've seen you before. I just haven't got to talk to you like on this deep of a level. So I really, really look forward to getting to know you better. New label, I've heard about you from the Honor family, from Vibes and everything. So I'm happy to finally actually meet you face to face and just talk with you too. I got you guys faved in my life. I'm cracking up. New York and everybody in the comments, I got you too. I pretty much had everybody faved, I think, besides one person who showed love. So I really appreciate you for that. And I will be seeing you over there as well. I'm Rawstarfairy, big, not the little again. I am going for my top badge, so I will be on after this for a little bit so I can get to know everybody that I saw over here. Just so silly. I'm excited for her because this show should be featured within like a week or two. Like the way that I've been seeing shows that really deserve to be featured, like it's gonna happen. So yes, we're gonna manifest it. It's gonna happen. We already know. So thank you, and I will see you guys there.
I guess I'll go next. And Madamgoddess, I really enjoyed this show. I was a little nervous in the beginning, but this is a safe place. I feel it. I feel the energy, and I just want to thank you for having me. But New York, I'm not dealing with you today. You can go.
Don't make me laugh, New York. Oh my god.
But it was great. You guys can find me Monday through Friday doing work streams. early mornings or in New York's live. So Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern for my show Tagging Out. Just be cautious, be very afraid. That's all I have to say about that show.
Yeah, girl, you already got me intrigued. So yeah, I'm gonna have to check it.
Definitely.
And what day is it again?
It's Saturdays at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
But thank you again.
Okay, I'm the last one. I'm new label. I don't stream as much, but I will have a content soon. I am from the Honor family. So if you ever see honor shows like Vibe shows, Ewa, Miss Yemoja, and whoever else, Miss Divine Living, I'm there. But I will start my own content soon. I'm working on cosmetic products. So as you guys know, my cosmetic products is launching this November. I also have, I just signed a contract with L'Oreal. So that's where I'm at. I'm out of here. Peace, y'all.
Yes, look, new label doing her thing, y'all. I mean, we got a celebrity on tag. I just have a celebrity on my show. Like, that's amazing to me. Okay, I'm excited. But thank y'all so much for coming. This is Rejuvenate with Yemoja. Please tune in next week, y'all, because next week is a special show. We are having Honor Family Takeover. So when I tell you I'm excited for it, y'all, I'm excited. I cannot wait. Okay? I'm excited every week. But that's going to be amazing next week. So please tune in, y'all. This is Rejuvenate with Yemoja. And y'all have a great week and many blessings to you.